In today's video, you'll learn something that can really help you. So like it and subscribe so you don't miss the next ones. Let's get started.
A woman earns the biggest commission of her career, $50,000. It's enough to change her life. But 3 months later, the money is gone. She doesn't know where it went. This is not a story about irresponsible spending or compulsive consumption. It's about something much deeper. She was trying to solve an emotional problem with money. When she saw that amount in her account, she felt something strange. It wasn't pure joy. It was a mix of relief, fear, and even guilt. Her brain sent out a signal. You finally achieved something. Now you need to prove you deserved it. And she did exactly that. She bought things. Not things she needed. Things she thought she should have to look successful. Expensive brand name clothes. A newer car. A luxury trip. In the end, she looked at her account and found nothing but receipts and an emptiness she never expected to feel. The truth no one wants to hear is this. You're probably not bad with money. Your biggest problem isn't even mathematical. It's psychological. And the worst part, you inherited this wrong programming as a child. When no one was teaching you about money, your parents, your friends, society as a whole were simply living as if they always had enough money. Or the opposite, as if money were something dangerous and dirty. Think for a moment. How did you learn to deal with money? Probably the same way your parents learned. If they were afraid to invest, you inherited that fear. If they spent everything they earned to look rich, you do the same thing now. No one sits a child down and explicitly says, I'm going to teach you to have a toxic relationship with money. But the teaching happens silently, through attitudes, reactions, and observed choices. The conflict starts here, between the knowledge you have. You know that spending more than you earn is not good, that saving is important, that investing for the long term works, and the behavior you actually adopt. You understand the numbers perfectly. The math of compound interest is simple. But when it's time to put into practice, something inside you sabotages everything. An inexplicable fear, a silent greed, a constant comparison with other people's lives. These emotional forces are invisible, but they are far more powerful than any mathematical formula. Most people treat money as a technical problem. They look for the best app, the best investment, the best strategy. They read books on personal finance, hoping to find the secret. But they remain in debt. They continue living paycheck to paycheck. They keep watching other people get rich while they stay stuck. Why? Because they're trying to solve a behavioral problem with technical tools. It's like trying to put out a fire with an instruction manual. The question no one asks is, why is making money so different from keeping money? Why can one person build a fortune while another loses everything in a few years? Why do millionaires who should have financial freedom manage to lose absolutely everything? The answer lies in how they behave when they have money in their hands. And that behavior comes from beliefs so old and deep that you don't even realize they're there, controlling every decision you make. What you're about to discover here is not a magical investment strategy. It's not a secret no one knows. It's something far more valuable. An understanding of why you do what you do with money and how to change it. Because when you understand the real reason behind your financial decisions, you finally become able to transform your reality. Not with willpower, not with restriction, but with clarity. If you feel like something always goes wrong when it comes to money, that you can never get off zero, that it feels like you're running on a treadmill without moving forward, this is a sign that your programming needs to be rewritten. And the good news? This is completely possible. The first step is recognizing that you're not bad with money. You were simply taught the wrong way. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And in the comments, tell us which city or country you're watching from and what you thought of this opening. Let's start this transformation together. There is a fundamental difference between understanding something and living something. You can know perfectly well that long-term investing generates wealth. The math is clear. A $1,000 investment applied for 30 years, with consistent annual returns, turns into an impressive amount. But knowing this does not prevent you from pulling the money out when the market drops 10%. It does not prevent you from hearing the coworker at the next desk talking about how much he made in a week with cryptocurrencies and feeling that itch to want to do the same thing. The problem begins when you realize that your financial decisions are rarely rational. They are emotional. A couple decides to save money for retirement. They plan every cent. They create a strict budget. Then, during a week in which they are feeling socially inadequate because everyone around them is buying better things, traveling to more exotic places, they give up 6 months of savings in a single purchase. They know it's wrong. Their rational brains scream that. But their emotional side whispers louder. You deserve this. Others have it. Why can't you have it too? This is the true nature of the conflict. It is not between the rich and the poor. It is not between the successful and the unsuccessful. It is between two versions of yourself. The version that knows what it should do, and the version that feels it needs to do something completely different. When you grow up watching your parents constantly worry about money, even when they had enough, you inherit a belief. Money is dangerous, scarce. It can be taken away at any moment. That grown-up child now spends compulsively when they have money, because at some deep level they feel it can disappear. Maybe they need one last indulgence before returning to scarcity. Or maybe they spend to prove to themselves that they finally deserved it. On the other hand, when you grow up in a family where money was never discussed, where things simply appeared, you develop a different belief. Money is not real. It is something abstract. It flows naturally. This person often becomes an adult without understanding the real consequences of their spending choices. The money disappears because it was never tangible to them. The most devastating aspect of this is that these beliefs operate silently. You don't see them working. You only see the results and blame yourself. Why don't I have discipline? Why can't I save like others can? Why do I always lose control? But here is the uncomfortable truth. You are not out of control. You are perfectly controlled by programs you don't even know exist. Your nervous system was calibrated to deal with money in a specific way. When your current reality, you earning good money now, meets old programming, you were never rich before, a disconnect occurs. Your body cannot believe that you deserve it, so it sabotages. A man gets a promotion and a significant raise. By the numbers, he could live comfortably and save half of what he earns. But his brain was not programmed for that. He instinctively spends to fit into an identity he believes he deserves. He buys a bigger house because successful people have big houses. He takes expensive vacations because successful people travel. And when the end of the month arrives, he is surprised to discover that his expenses have grown just as much as his salary. This is the mechanism that keeps most people trapped. The more you earn, the more you feel the need to spend. And the gap between income and savings remains constant. Some call it lifestyle inflation. Others call it an invisible rat wheel. But the name doesn't matter. The result is always the same. Money is never enough because you were never programmed to feel enough when you have it. Now comes the part no one wants to face. The moment when you realize that everyone around you is trapped in the same snare. And even worse, some of them get rich anyway. But then what? Is their wealth an illusion too? A man accumulates $2 million. He has profitable companies, solid investments, appears to be on top of the world. His life looks perfect from the outside, but he never sleeps well. Because to earn those $2 million, he sacrificed every moment with his family. And now that he has the money, he can't enjoy it. He is afraid of losing it, afraid that his luck will run out, afraid that someone will steal from him, afraid that he did everything wrong. So he keeps working obsessively, keeps investing aggressively, keeps chasing more, because deep inside, he believes it will never be enough. This man is not free. He is a prisoner of his own wealth. And here's the climax. Most people build wealth for the wrong reason, not to have freedom, but to prove something to themselves or to others. They earn to escape shame. They earn to win social comparison. They earn to feel worthy. The problem is that these reasons never end. There is always more to prove. There is always someone with more. There is always that inner voice whispering that you're not enough. Meanwhile, a woman who earns less, who has fewer titles, who has fewer things, can be profoundly richer. Because she understood something fundamental. Wealth is not what you earn. Wealth is what you don't spend. It's not the car you buy. It's the freedom to choose not to buy it. Wealth is not visible. It is invisible. It is that feeling of sleeping peacefully because you know you can handle a crisis. It is being able to say no to a job that hurts you. It is being able to spend time with the people you love without constantly worrying. This is the twist that changes everything. People you think are poor are often far richer than people you think are rich. Because real wealth is freedom. And freedom comes from having more than you spend, not from earning more than you can handle. But the conflict intensifies when you start questioning everything. If making more money doesn't make you happy, why is everyone chasing it? If true wealth is invisible, why does society celebrate visible wealth? Why do you see influencers flaunting cars, jewelry, and trips and feel that tightness in your chest? Because you were programmed to believe that this is success, that having is being, that showing off is winning. The truth is that making money is competition. Anyone can do it, but keeping money, saving money, accumulating money without spending compulsively, that is rare, very rare. That's why legendary investors never talk about how much they earn. They talk about how much they save. Warren Buffett lived most of his life in a modest house. He did not show off. He accumulated. And while most people were competing to look rich, he was building real wealth. The climax of your internal conflict arrives when you finally understand this. You were taught to play the wrong game. Society wants you to earn more and spend more, because that keeps the machine running. The more you consume, the more companies earn. The more you compare yourself, the more you buy. You are the product. Your insecurity is the business. And the worst part? You knew this on some level. You always knew. But acknowledging it means facing the reality that a large part of your financial decisions so far have been manipulated, not by specific people, but by an entire system of beliefs that you absorbed without questioning. Change does not begin with a perfect financial plan. It does not begin with an app or a revolutionary investment strategy. It begins with a single decision, recognizing the programming and choosing to reprogram yourself. That's it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. The first step is to stop blaming yourself. You are not bad with money because you are weak or impulsive or foolish. You are fighting a battle against decades of conditioning. Your parents did the best they could. Society did what it does best: sell insecurity. No one conspired against you specifically, but the system was designed so that you would never have full control. When you understand this, guilt disappears and responsibility emerges. Responsibility is different from guilt. Guilt paralyzes you. Responsibility empowers you. Because responsibility means you can change this. Now, the simplest and most powerful truth is this: long-term financial success is not about doing extraordinary things. It is about doing mundane things consistently. It's not about making a lot of money quickly. It's about earning money, saving it, investing it, and not giving up for decades. While most people are searching for the big hit, the real winners are doing the obvious. They earn a little. They save a little. They repeat, repeat, repeat. The power of this is invisible at first. There is no drama. There is no spectacular victory. One day you simply wake up and realize that you have money. A lot of money. But more important than the money, you have something most people will never have: peace. You sleep well because you're not in debt. You work because you want to, not because you desperately need to. You make decisions based on your values, not on your insecurities. This is the moral lesson society does not want you to learn. Real wealth is a matter of behavior, not talent. It's not about being smarter. It's not about being lucky. It's about being more patient, more consistent, less impulsive, less comparative, less dependent on validation through consumption. Most people who become wealthy follow a simple pattern. They do not seek spectacular returns. They seek consistent returns and protection against losses. Why? Because those who chase the big hit often take the big fall. Those who seek protection stay in the game. And those who stay in the game win. Not because they are better, because they last longer. There are investors who hit one big play and lost everything. There are investors who never hit a big play and became richer and richer. Which one would you rather be? Most people say they would rather hit the big play. That is the programming speaking. It is insecurity screaming. It is social comparison controlling you. The resolution of your conflict is not dramatic. It is not a moment of illumination where you wake up transformed. It is quieter. It is a series of small decisions. You stop buying things you don't need. You begin to question whether you really want something or if you just want to look like you want it. You start saving that amount you thought was impossible to save. You invest and resist the urge to sell when the market falls. You repeat this for months, years, decades, and one day you look back and realize something revolutionary. You won. Not against other people, against yourself, against your old programming, against that inner voice that said you didn't deserve it, that you were bad with money, that you would never make it. The final truth is this: you're not bad with money. You were simply taught the wrong way. But now that you know this, you can rewrite this story. You don't need permission. You don't need confirmation. You just need to start. Today. Now. If this story touched you in any way, if you recognize your own battles in what was said here, do one thing. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and comment below what insight impacted you the most. Also tell us which city or country you're watching from. Let's build a community of people who understand that financial success is possible when you stop trying to look rich and start being truly rich.